Hey, Liam Austin here, co-founder of Entrepreneurs HQ, and we're talking at the Cold Email Success Summit, all about cold email, funnily enough. And we've got someone who has got a unique approach at cold email, but I highly recommend you stick around and listen to this. I'm sure it's going to be entertaining, just like maybe your emails will be, just like this topic maybe might be focused on. I won't try to give too much away. John Buchan, who is the director at Charm Offensive, welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me.
No worries, mate. Well, do you want to just give us a bit of a background about you, your business, and how you got into cold email?
Yeah. So I moved to, it sounds like a life story, but it won't be. I moved to London in 2006, and I worked for digital marketing agencies. And after 5 years, I decided, I think I can do this better myself. And it went well to start with, but about a year in, all of my word of mouth leads dried up. And I was desperate for sales, and I did whatever, what Brits normally do in that situation. I got blind drunk and wrote the most completely absurd cold email I possibly could. And in the morning, I think I was still tipsy and decided it was a good idea, still a good idea, to send that email to very senior marketing people at very large brands and corporations. And to my amazement, it worked. And I got all of these amazing complimentary responses. One of them simply read, I remember this one, succinctly just read, "My colleague forwarded me your spam email and we would like to meet you to discuss opportunities," which I've always found such a oxymoronic sentence. And I got loads of other saying, "This is the best cold email I've ever received. You've made me laugh out loud." And I met with very important senior people at Red Bull, Hewlett-Packard, Pepsi, Cisco, Barclays, loads of huge companies. And I realized every time I pressed send and sent it to a new list, I booked more meetings. And I was like, oh, this is just never going to end. I found a magic trick here where I can just turn a tap on and have meetings. And then I used it also when I won Symantec as a client, my first gigantic client. They run Norton Antivirus, big, massive corporation. I had to get them PR coverage. So I used this similar style to get the editor at VentureBeat to cover my client. So I realized, I can use this to get journalists to respond and cover my clients as well. And then I used it to invite myself on podcasts, to get people to events. I got my friends as many job interviews as they wanted. And I was like, I think I've hit on something here, that everyone is writing in this weird, in B2B, in this weird functional etiquette following way. And I've done something completely different and it stands out. And now I have my Facebook group, Charm Offensive. My business just does lead generation. That's what I'm best at. And my life would be very different if I hadn't have got drunk in 2012 that night.
So the process now is every time you want to write a cold email, you crack a few fans and you crack into the email.
I reverse engineered it, and I figured out why it worked. So I know line by line all of those influences. And I don't know what inspired me to get drunk and write a cold email, but it worked. And I was accidentally very clever.
Good. Well, I'm glad it's worked. It's brought you here, and it's nice that you're able to kind of share this experience and this knowledge with everyone. I'm sure everyone's here is going, all right, you've got this special formula here, this unconventional way. I haven't heard of it before. You've told me all these things that it's worked for you. Will it work for me and other people? And are you willing to share that with everyone?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. So whereas everyone else is using sort of copywriting formulas and hooks and all of these kind of, stuff that works. No doubt my way is not the only way that works. I didn't know any of that stuff. I never trained as a copywriter. What I did know is joke formulas, humor formulas, because I've always been obsessed with comedy, stand-up, sitcoms, comedy movies. And that is kind of ingrained in me, all of those formulas for writing jokes and making people laugh. So when I wrote it, those were very much incorporated. And also, I was just so honest in how I opened my email. It started with, "Greetings, Joe," whatever their first name was. "You've never heard of me. Hi, I'm John. I got your data from a list. Gasp. But hey, at least you're list worthy. That's got to be worth something, right?" So I've admitted that I've bought their data. Like I've just bought a list of marketing directors, and who starts with that? No one starts with something that honest. Most people start with, you know, they don't call out the elephant in the room, like that you have no reason to contact you other than this is a sales pitch and I'm complimenting them on it. So most emails will start with, do you have this problem? Do you have that? And it's in this infomercial tone that no one speaks like. Whereas I open with, hey, I got your data from a list, at least you're list worthy. And immediately it sounds more personable. Even though I was sending that to hundreds of people, it sounds like a one-to-one email. And it also lowers, it's disarming when you're that honest immediately. And it allows you to pitch. If you make someone laugh or make them smile, in the next line you can do a pitch and people are more receptive to it. So that's the sort of short version of why it works, is it's super honest and it makes them laugh. And when someone is smiling or laughing, they're more likely to hit reply. So that's a sort of short version of why it works.
All right, cool. So from what you've told me so far, it's like, all right, greetings, personalize it with their name. Doesn't matter whether it's, it probably maybe doesn't matter, but what have you seen maybe where you work is just like how you would normally greet someone, hey mate, or hi, or dear. Like what kind of formula are you using here, or is it just about just being honest in yourself?
Well, for me, I liked greetings because the subject line I often used was apologies in advance, which is used because I wanted to take advantage of the fact that they don't know who I am. And if you see a stranger apologizing to you, it's going to get your attention. And then to start the email, instead of, I wanted every little bit of it to be different. I do remember that because I was getting cold emails from, I offered digital marketing, but I was getting cold emails from people offering me digital marketing. So I knew what everyone else was sending. And I just wanted every little bit to be different. So even not using dear or even hey, I'd use greeting, because who says greetings anymore? And it's just another little point of differentiation. And when you've got enough of those, it adds up. So I like greetings. I like salutations as well. It's a minor thing, but it stands out if you're using a different opener than everyone else. And then that first line should just be the most honest thing that I can possibly say. And that's like a Warren Buffett technique, where he starts his stock presentations, not that he has a lot of bad news, with the worst news he has or the most honest thing he can, because then everything else he says has more credibility. And in a small way, we're doing the same thing.
Yeah, okay, that does make sense, and that's an interesting approach, isn't it? And from what I'm hearing is you're writing this email. The next step is you really want to get the person's attention, like you want to stand out from the crowd to get the response. And you feel like if you can really stand out, be different, you're going to get that response. What is it about the standing out though that's actually going to deliver that response?
Sure. It's a lot of, there's a few different reasons why, there's a few different things you've got to do when to make a sale or to get a sales call. And so one is the get attention, and then communication, and then persuasion. And everyone else really focuses on the persuasion and communication aspect. But if you don't get someone's attention, none of that clever persuasion stuff matters. And some of these people I was emailing, they get hundreds of cold emails every day. So standing out is important. There's you, and then there's other 99 boring emails they've got. The other benefit of that is, I once got an email where someone said, I've had your email for a year and finally I'm replying to it because I remembered you. That doesn't happen with a standard email. So the attention part's really important, and I think that's where the biggest gains are to be made, because if I can get the attention of more people, not many people are trying to compete on that metric. Everyone else is trying to do the clever persuasion stuff. I'm going to get their attention. And also, if you can do it in a clever way by making someone laugh, you're giving them a nice feeling remotely. Like it's the best first impression you could possibly make on someone. And if someone's in a good mood because you put them in a good mood because of your email, they're more likely to hit reply. And when they reply, they're not going to reply in like corporate language. They reply and they're already talking informally with you. And that is a huge advantage. And they're actually looking forward to doing a call with you. It's not just some lackluster, yeah, okay, I'll do. It's like, I can't wait to speak to you. You're already pre-framing that this is going to be an enjoyable call. You're not going to be hard sold to. So there's all these different advantages of having this approach. It pre-frames it as an enjoyable call. It shows that you're, getting cut through like that is persuasive in itself. It shows you must be clever or, interesting. And as more and more people do cold email, I think the standing out is going to be more and more important.
All right. So when we're talking about the email that maybe you wrote in the past, and it sounds like you've kind of templated this and you've got something that now works, a formula that works. Is it just the first, section or paragraph that we're trying to get their attention to make that impact, or is this following through the whole email?
Yeah, it follows through the whole email. So, but I used a similar template, not exactly, to get myself on podcasts. And there's a guy called Kevin Rogers who runs the Truth About Marketing podcast. And he said, yeah, basically you kept winning my attention. Like I'd win your attention and I'll slide a little pitch in. And then I'll win your attention again, I'll make you laugh again, and then I can put my ask in. So it's like, it's basically, in copywriting, they call it a pattern interrupt, where you get someone's attention with something different. I sort of coined it like a humor interrupt. I'll make you laugh, I've got your attention, I can pitch to you now for a few seconds, I've got a grace period, and then they're gonna get your attention again, and then I can pitch again. So it's basically a balance of being interesting and honest and making them laugh, and your sales elements. And, because people can get distracted very easily. They can go into another tab, they've got other emails. But if you're making someone laugh and it's captivating, they're going to read your email to the very end. And that's why this stuff is important.
Love it. All right. So I think we've got a good idea or overall, concept of how this works and what goes into it to make it work. But shall we maybe just go into a little bit deeper and break down maybe each element? And, we talked about the subject line, the greetings part, and maybe let's do that with every part of the email, just so, people that are watching can maybe try to replicate this for themselves.
Yeah, sure. Let me get the letter up, because people used to scan. I used to send it as a letter after. I originally sent it as an email, and then I started sending it as a letter. And people used to scan it and put it on Twitter, which at the time made me nervous because I was like, my secret's getting out, which has obviously changed now. Shall I read it out and then I can go through and analyze? You
can share your screen if you wanted to do that.
Okay, I can.
So just below here, my face, there should be a little green button.
Let me do that. To Google Chrome.
Yeah, there you go. You're starting to share it. Yep, I can see it now.
Awesome. So yeah, it's after the first line, which is greetings, first name, you've never heard of me. Hi, I'm John. I got your details from a list, gasp, but hey, at least you're list worthy. That's got to be something, right? Okay, let me get down to brass tacks. I'm writing to you from the office of Render Positive, a highly creative marketing and advertising agency I run with my brother Gary and a team of 20 people far more talented than me. For over 5 years, we've run our own amazing agency and we absolutely love it. It's a wonderful feeling to know we're not ripping clients off and we're producing the best work of our lives. We're looking to win new clients over to our side and away from those evil, okay, maybe not evil, but not as good other agencies. If you let me have a chat with you about your digital marketing needs, I will buy you lunch or coffee or tequila shots and promise to be somewhat entertaining. If you're lucky, I may even wear a top hat. First off, I'd love to provide you with some ideas you're free to steal. I have included a picture of a ferret that has been dressed up. According to the internet, his name is Colin. I trust that will charm you into submission. I await your profanity-filled response. Have a splendid day, John. So there's a lot going on in there, and there's one of the joke formulas that I like to use is the threes. It's the most simple one. You use the power of three. You have two sensible elements and then one silly one. So in this one, it's I will buy you lunch / coffee / tequila shots and promise to be somewhat entertaining. So lunch, coffee, completely sensible, and then tequila shots is obviously patently absurd. Who says that in a cold pitch to a senior marketing director? And my reason for that, I think, was that I was going up against agencies that had better office, ostensibly better case studies, had won more awards, they had better offices, they had all the advantages, but nobody else has emailed these prospects and offered to take them to tequila shots. No one else has offered that, and immediately you stand out from the crowd. And there's other elements in there as well that's just like things that are just patently absurd. So I've attached a picture of a ferret that has been dressed up. No particular reason, You know, there's no intelligence behind this. It's just silly. And it's just, you know, the line where I say, I trust this will charm you into submission. Like I'm assuming that this stupid move I've made is going to work. And this kind of humor is just, you know, you can't be offended by it unless you're really stuck up and you're like, how dare you write to me in this manner? Not many people are like that. And if they are, it's good for me. I don't want to work with someone like that. But if they're not, it's going to make them smile and make them laugh. And those are some of the key elements of humor there, using the pair of three, using absurdity, and then other things like using exaggeration. So we're trying to win clients over away from those other evil agencies. And then they go, okay, maybe not evil, but not as good. So there's all these little levers of humor that, you know, it's not it's not laugh out loud funny, but you don't have to be stand-up comedian funny. You just have to be funnier than all the